This is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Speaking about how himself and his brother Jeff being a part of TNA helped the promotion secure a television deal with AMC, Matt Hardy noted on his Extreme Life podcast, there were enough top executives who, once they learned the Hardy Boys were TNA talent, got really excited. At AMC, there are so many people who are huge fans of the Hardy Boys, which is wild. There were a couple of guys there who were so excited to be doing that, so excited to be working with us, which is cool. Not trying to be egotistical, but yes, I do think it was a big deal. We get recognized in the streets every single day. People who aren't even die-hard wrestling fans know who we are. We've been through generations now. We are truly a legacy act that people know, and we are still performing at a half-decent high level. In a brief update, Bianca Belair was asked for an injury update as she said, "It's getting fixed. Miss you guys too." Previously, Belair talked about her injury on BET's 106 in Sports. "So I broke my knuckle, not my finger. I broke my knuckle. I broke the joint. It's been almost 6 months at this point. We were going to the top rope and Rhea landed straight on my hand, and it just crushed everything in my finger." Going over what could be next for Nikki Bella in WWE, Ringside News wrote that Nikki Bella might have lost to Stephanie Vaquer at WWE Survivor Series War Games, but her story inside WWE may be far from over, just not in the way fans expected. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there's been internal talk within WWE about transitioning Nikki Bella into a heel manager role down the line. This comes after Bella turned heel on Stephanie Vaquer last month, launching a brutal attack on Vaquer and demanding a shot at the gold. That title match finally went down at Survivor Series inside Petco Park, Nikki's hometown, where the crowd was anything but forgiving. Despite coming out strong, Bella fell to a devastating combo of Vaquer's Devil Kiss and Corkscrew Moonsault, ending her championship aspirations for now. Still, Nikki stayed defiant in defeat, vowing in a backstage interview, "Of course you want to comment. You know what happened out there? I lost. But let me tell you something. This isn't the last of Nikki Bella. You got that? It's not the last." Former WWE star The Great Khali is set to return to the ring after last wrestling in 2018. Khali's CWE Academy posted this ad on Instagram and wrote, "Watch The Great Khali take on the challenge of Parker Boudreaux in the ring. Will The Great Khali save the nation's honor in the face of this absurd dare? Find out at the Mythen Mania Ultimate Show of Strength, 25th of January 2026 in Danwood." Previously, Khali had said this about a full-time return to WWE, telling Rewind, Recap, Relive, "I don't think so, going back to WWE. I'm doing so many things. CW, I have a restaurant business, I have lots of commercials, so many events in India. I'm busy all the time. I don't want to come back to WWE. I want to come and just say hello, hi, check in a little bit, Royal Rumble, not permanently. Permanently, no." Touching on the worst injuries he has suffered throughout his WWE career, John Cena told the Bill Simmons podcast, "Both triceps, tore both of those, torn pec. My neck, I had to have spinal fusion. When a disc ruptures and hits the spinal cord, it can shut everything down." During that same interview, Cena mentioned why his heel run this year was so short-lived, saying, "We've been talking about it for 15 years. Never thought it was going to happen. I got 11 months to do this. 36 TV appearances. It takes 5 years to get a guy over. Regardless, if you turn them, it's going to take a year or two for it to really sink in. And I don't have the time to tell the right story. The crowd turned, so we turned, but I couldn't go all the way. I just didn't have the time. I don't have another chance. If they didn't buy in, I'd just go fake an injury in July, but they bought in, and that means everything to me. It's not that you may or may not have wanted me to turn bad. It's that a lot of people started to realize when I came out into a dome, it was like 36 dates. That's it." John Cena also talked about the original plan he had for this farewell tour, telling the Bill Simmons podcast, "The plan originally was to do like a full year. I wanted to do 220 dates. Just take a year off of everything. Hop on a bus, do a full WWE calendar, and totally say goodbye. I was in Budapest, flying from Budapest, do all night on set, fly to Indy, do Indianapolis, fly back, land, drop my stuff off, go film. And doing that until post-WrestleMania, back and forth to Morocco and Budapest and all these crazy places that weren't easy commutes. You think you can do it because like, I'll sleep on the plane or whatever. You don't. Doesn't happen. Then you get upside down and you're like super fatigued. Thank goodness the business isn't like that anymore, because I would be, if you took a gingerbread man, just broke him, I'd be done." In a quick update on the possibility of Vince McMahon attending John Cena's final match at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C., Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez said that it is increasingly unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely that McMahon will attend. While the belief has been that Roman Reigns will challenge Cody Rhodes for the WWE title at WrestleMania 42, that might not be the case. With this said in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the other story was Rhodes and Reigns having words at the end of the match. It's been confirmed to us that a Rhodes vs. Reigns match for the WWE title is in the plans, although not necessarily at WrestleMania. Alternative matches are under consideration, as it was said, Rollins vs. Breaker, Reigns vs. Punk, and Rhodes against someone else could be done. With WWE originally planning to have the masked attacker be revealed as Austin Theory, it seems the plans could have changed. As Dave Meltzer wrote this in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Paul Heyman had wanted to bring Theory into the Vision, largely to make him a star and to protect Breaker and Reed from having to take pins. He would have been in this match, War Games, had Jacob Fatu not gotten hurt, which sped up the Cody Rhodes vs. Drew McIntyre feud, since they were going to be on this show originally instead of the prior show, which was to be Fatu vs. McIntyre to set up this show with McIntyre winning. That doesn't mean Theory will end up being the guy under the mask when it's revealed. It probably won't be Rollins. If they drag it out until January, it could be Chris Jericho, which immediately gets him into a top position. Netflix announced it has struck a definitive agreement to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery's core film, television, and streaming assets, including the storied Warner Bros. Studio and HBO Max/HBO, in a massive cash and stock transaction valued at approximately $82.7 billion. Under the terms of the agreement, each Warner Bros. Discovery WBD shareholder will receive $23.25 in cash plus about $4.50 worth of Netflix shares per outstanding WBD share, putting the per share value at $27.75. The deal is structured to close after WBD finalizes the planned spin-off of its global networks division, linear cable/satellite networks such as news and sports channels, into a separate publicly traded company now expected in Q3 of 2026. The Netflix acquisition will then proceed. Netflix and Warner Brothers say the merger unites two of Hollywood's most influential content powerhouses, combining Netflix's global streaming reach, data-driven distribution, and subscriber base with Warner Brothers' century-long legacy of blockbuster films, hit television series, and premium streaming content. For consumers, the promise is simple: a vastly expanded catalog of entertainment. Iconic franchises and titles from the DC Comics universe to Harry Potter, from classic films to recent HBO hits, will join Netflix's existing originals like Stranger Things, potentially offering more choice under a single platform umbrella. From a business perspective, Netflix anticipates at least $2 to $3 billion in annual cost savings by the third year following the acquisition, thanks to synergies across production, distribution, and overhead, and expects the transaction to be accretive to GAAP earnings per share by year 2. Still, several major conditions remain. The merger requires shareholder approval from WBD, successful completion of the Discovery Global spinoff, and regulatory clearances. Given the scale of the consolidation, antitrust regulators are expected to scrutinize the deal closely. If it closes, the deal marks one of the largest and most consequential in entertainment history, reshaping the balance of power in Hollywood streaming wars and potentially rewriting the way we consume film and TV. In their words, Netflix's co-CEOs see this as more than a takeover. It's an opportunity to entertain the world on a grander scale, merging rich creative heritage with streaming innovation to define the next half-century of storytelling. Of course, since WBD is spinning off the cable networks into a separate company, AEW's weekly shows on TBS and TNT and the streaming on Max should remain intact until the existing media rights deal ends, which runs through 2027. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.